Got Kevin York, Every Nation Executive Director. Let's talk about church growth for a minute. Is that still valid, or has that gone the way of the horse and carriage?
No, I think it's still valid. I hear that construct only with different words through every kind of church planting model, even the viral models, more the hyper-homogeneous models.
Break that one down. The hyper what?
Homogeneous.
Yes. All right.
Yes, the missiological idea of removing obstacles to the gospel. So if I get a group of people that is from the same homogeneity, then I would remove obstacles of style and other things.
So that's the opposite of diversity.
Absolutely.
We want everybody that's kind of
right,
the same.
The same. And so it's a monocultural style. And their whole point is to grow and to spread the gospel and be effective at evangelism. And so the core of every model is always effective evangelism, whether it's big or small.
We are assuming a good motive. We're assuming a gospel motive that everyone has.
Everyone
we're assuming
has.
that whatever model they're doing, it's a good heart. And I think that's a good starting point. But when it comes to whether I'm a small church, a medium-sized, a large church, people who want to grow and who are visionary and are dreaming bigger or whatever, it seems like they're sort of punching bags these days.
When you talk about the extremely large churches, which are very rare, they're a minuscule number of the churches throughout all of church history are very large churches, but they impugn bad motive to them, which obviously I totally disagree with. I don't know any single megachurch pastor that I am personally friends with that has anything other than a pure gospel motive for everything that they do, from the founding of their church to the growing of their church to planting sites to planting churches around the world. We ought to be a full court press in every model, and every model's whole goal should be the forwarding of the gospel. Paul expanded to nations. He wasn't concerned in reaching all of Rome. He just wanted a church in Rome and the church to reach Rome, because he wanted to go to the next. And so it's always about the expansion.
Yeah, and so if the motive is a gospel motive, which is taking the gospel to an individual, a neighbor, a friend, a family member, and then it's also a global motive of trying to go from here to the world. I think sometimes, whether they're small churches or large churches, sometimes we lose the global, and we're focused so much on the local and on our community, and that's important, but we are supposed to go to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, the ends of the earth. As long as we have a gospel motive and a heart for the world, then big or small, it's a good church.
Yes, many missiologists in the Western world are concerned about that fact. In some church planting and expansion models, it's just my neighborhood, it's not the world. And so that's led to a great concern and a fall off in some nations with concern for the world. That's great insight. I think obviously the Great Commission includes the world.
I think the thing you mentioned about the hyper-homogeneous, while it may have been valid and it may still be valid, I think for a younger generation, I'm not sure it actually is what they desire. I know my own kids would not want to be in a church that's all younger, professional, white people. That's just not the world that the next generation lives in. So I'm not sure how valid the homogeneous idea, maybe when we were younger, may have been valid, but today it seems like people desire a much more diverse world, and it seems like diversity can become a magnet for even lost people. Diversity can become an attractional part of how we do church.
The whole of culture is set on edge when they find unity and diversity amongst people groups. It is one of the most attractive parts of the church worldwide, and it actually should be, in my opinion. To find a group of people that love one another regardless of their ethnic, their cultural, their economic station in life. And when you find that, you obviously know that therein lies a miracle, and that's what's attractive to them.
Kevin, as always, you bring a lot of insight and wisdom. Thanks for taking the time here, and thanks for all you do to serve pastors all over the world.
Thank you.
Whether you're part of a small church, medium-sized church, or a huge church, I want to encourage you to take the gospel into your context, into your neighborhood, your friends, your neighbors, your family, but I also want to encourage you to somehow reach the whole world. And then don't forget that idea of reaching out to the diverse community that's around you. Diversity can become a great tool for us to reach not only our neighborhoods, but to reach the world with the gospel.